Welcome back to another MCreator procedure tutorial. Today what we're going to be looking at is ways to add blocks. This is something that we've been building up to for a while, but we needed to get a whole bunch of little components like the X, Y, and Z blocks and the block selector taken care of first. So we'll be looking at two of these blocks, the place block and the replace block at with, and then the keep state and keep MBT/inventory. So these are two blocks that you can find under the block procedures, then actions, and they're right at the top here. We have the place block at, and then we have the replace block down below. So these are the two ones that you're going to be using for different things. I usually end up using the replace block with a block state and keep MBT/inventory in my procedures, just because it does pretty much the exact same thing. So with that being said, with the place block, it's very simple. You can have the dependencies for the X, Y, and Z by default. You can also replace these X, Y, and Z ones with numbers if you don't have support for the X, Y, and Z ones for your trigger. This will place it at a very specific location in the world, so that's always an option as well. And the other option is you can go ahead and offset certain coordinates like the Y+1, and that will go ahead and shift it up one block. You can also do that with the other coordinates as well, and that would work. So we're going to set this one to a chest here, so we'll go ahead and press chest, and with our selector we can place a chest like that. Now the other one is very similar in regards to this first section right here, and then we have our selector, which is exactly the same as this one. So we're going to go ahead and use a trap chest on this one, and the other parts here, by default the keep inventory is disabled. So the first one keeps the state, so things like rotation, or if you have a block with custom, for example, if you have a block with something like custom variables and stuff, later on this will be more relevant. So if we go ahead and create a block, we can quickly check that out. So we go to the block states and then properties, and things like crops have age and other things like that. These are all the different types of states in the base game, so there's a lot of different ones out there that you might be needing to keep, and you can always create your own for your own blocks as well. So you have logic, enum, and integers that you can work with, and basically what's going to happen when you have this block checked is it's going to keep those states for the block, so it'll try to keep it over for the one that's basically changing it to. So that's a really handy one when you're working with things like rotation and stuff like that, which we're going to be demonstrating in this tutorial. And then the one where it says keep MBT/inventory, so if the block has an inventory like, I don't know, a chest, then if we right click on a chest per se, and we want to replace it with like a trap chest, we can enable this to keep the MBT and inventory, and it will keep the inventory data. Now if you're working with MBT, this is a Forge system, and you can find these blocks under the actions tab. There's these three blocks here, and this is basically variables for the block himself. We'll cover this in a new separate video later on. There's also ways to get that MBT as well, which are down at the bottom of here. So if we want to keep those, then we need to enable this as well. So I'm going to check both of these boxes in this case, and then I'm going to go ahead and test when we right click on a chest that it's going to basically replace that block with a trap chest. And for the other one, what I want to do is I just want to replace the block with a chest to basically allow me to see the road. So we're going to pop that onto here, and then we'll go ahead and start up the game. All right, so we have a couple methods of doing this. I have a basic right click on the block at the bottom, and then this should replace. So we'll right click on that. You can see the rotation has reset to this location over here, which is facing north. So by default, chests, when they're replaced, they're going to be facing north, the north direction. Now this one's going to be a little bit harder to actually show. If we right click on the chest right now, it will update to kind of like a ready color around the thing. That basically means it's a trap chest, and we just created another chest up there. You can kind of see that right now if we right click on that and then right click on this, you can kind of see that there is a little bit of a difference for the rim around it. Now I can't actually access the chest right now, so what I'm going to do is I just place this empty chest down here. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put some ignits in here, and we're just going to drop them into the hopper itself, and then we know that it will be in this chest when we open it. So let's go ahead and right click on this, and then we can open it, and then you can see that we have the ignits from the trap chest, and we also place a chest above because that's what our script is told to do. So that's basically that. We can update the inventory data and replace blocks with with the replace block one, and the place one will not keep the rotation or anything like that, but it will rotate the block according to its default rotation. If you have any questions, feel free to hop on my Discord server and ask in the help section. We have pretty good community that will help you with things, so if you have any questions like that, don't forget to stop in there and ask if you're interested. YouTube comments have been pretty hard to keep up with, so I just haven't been bothering at this rate, so it's a good thing if you get some help on our Discord server for sure. But outside of that, if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to rate the video, and let me know in the comments what you liked about it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Peace out.